I got a mix of very positive and pretty negative comments on my first video covering this story because due to the fact that I was trying to catch up on hours worth of videos and trying not to make my segment be too much longer than a single hour, there was some stuff I had to skip in the original videos on this whole story. And people in the comments were pretty brutal about me not knowing things that were said in what I skipped. I do apologize. Now, to be fair, the whole point of me streaming videos like this is that I go in, especially when it's drama like this, I go in blind and I give you guys my takes. I don't really see what the value would be in watching my coverage if I weren't giving a unique perspective and you weren't getting at least like my reaction to all this and how crazy it is out of the video. I don't know why you would care about me talking about it otherwise. You would just watch the original in that case. So the anger is a little confusing, but I also sort of get it. But to summarize the situation, a YouTuber by the name of Reckless Ben made a deal with a dying old man's son that he would help to reclaim a stolen Star Wars Lego collection worth $250,000 from a company, a Lego retailer that stole them, that agreed to buy them, and then never forked up the money after taking the goods. And then even had a corporate takeover of the location where all of the Legos were removed from said store location and locked up in order to keep the rightful owner from getting them back. And of course, this YouTuber went on a long stint of exposing this company, Bricks and Minifigs, and their corporate offices, their CEOs and higher-ups who are all complicit in all of this, or in fact the ones organizing all of it, clearly, and the ways in which the local police departments are working with this company in order to keep justice from being done, even after this YouTuber has taken the company to court and won, and they have been found liable of the amount of money that was stolen, the value of the Lego collection. The company has to give it to them, but instead, so that he couldn't serve them, they closed their location. And now you've got this YouTuber trying to hunt down the CEOs so he can serve them their legal papers saying they need to pay up. The court says they need to pay up, and they're avoiding and even calling the cops on them to have them trespassed whenever they try to show up and have the required good faith conversation necessary to proceed in the legal process. Now, make no mistake, their lack of cooperation will not stop the legal process from going further. It will continue, but it does complicate things, and it does demonstrate explicit bad faith, alongside the fact that at best the police are being negligent and working with criminals to keep the aggrieved party from following what the orders of the court. They're helping people be hostile to the court, which is pretty suspicious to say the least. And at worst, this is coordinated corruption. It could be paying off, or it could be the fact that this is a Mormon Lego company, and many of these police departments are run by Mormons. And Mormons are, unlike any other religion, they're really culty. Like, they're Scientology level culty. Like, the reputation that Scientology has, copy-paste that onto Mormonism, they're the exact same. Just because they aren't worshiping aliens and stuff like that does not mean Mormons are not just... They're just as culty. It's just as much of a cult. They're just the same. Mormons scare the shit out of me, as they should. If you are not as freaked out by Mormons as you are by Scientologists, then you don't know enough about Mormons. I definitely do think there could be something with the Mormon protecting our own thing going on here, for sure. But all of that summarized, this YouTuber has made a response to the police department, and I don't know what to expect from this. We're gonna watch the whole thing. It's not a long video, and I'm really curious to see what his statement is on all of this, because I do admit I had some critiques of his conduct in this, mostly because he's a YouTuber, and the desire to get content out of this does lead to him doing some silly stuff that won't necessarily hurt his case, but it doesn't help his case. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you know what? At the same time, maybe I'm just being a bitch. The content is getting this into the eyes of a lot of people, which is putting pressure on the company and pressure on the court, and that's probably a big part of what's going to help them win in the end. So maybe I am wrong to criticize them. Regardless, let's see his statement, his response to the police. Hit me with it.
I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department.
That was very quiet.
The American Fork Police Department has responded to the video I made about them.
I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department. I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media.
So now I will offer a response to their response. There's a lot of new information in this response that I've been wanting to get for a long time, so we'll go over that first. One of the main questions in my video was, why did I get swatted for stealing the Legos when this wasn't a mystery to the police officers and they knew that I didn't steal the Legos, that Josh stole the Legos.
He basically stole a $200,000 collection.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty suspicious. The fact that we've got a whole history of the court agreeing who the theft was done by and who owes who money, and yet the police raided the people who the court found to be not the victims necessarily specifically, but the advocates for the victims of the theft, which are these YouTubers. That's really weird. This is either one of the biggest acts of police incompetence ever, maybe, or deliberate corruption. This is like small town corrupt police department shit.
Star Wars Legos.
But still, why did they raid my house for stealing the Legos when there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that Josh stole the Legos? When I requested the body cam footage of this to try to find the answers myself, they redacted everything, and they claimed it was to protect the victims. However, one of my friends set up a GoPro as we were getting swatted, and we caught the entire conversation on camera.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
For 3 months, the police department's answer has been, this redaction is important because it protects Josh, the victim of this case. However, we can clearly see that the police are looking.
So they've got a warrant. They have a warrant for Legos. That means there's a judge that's in on this. This is not just a police department thing. They've got a judge willing to write them up bogus warrants. Presumably, assuming it's corruption, they've got a judge on their side. Maybe more.
Looking for Legos, and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all of the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone. The only reason I know about it is because of the receipt I got the night I was released from jail and my friend's GoPro that was recording. So even though I've been asking them for 3 months why I got swatted, they finally came up with an answer, which is the Airbnb host told them that I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit, the homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken. Based on that information,
so you take the word of a Airbnb. This is bullshit. No. This is bullshit. We saw how unseriously they were willing to take stolen Legos when they were reporting it, that the company had did it and had evidence from the court the company had done it. And now they're raiding the house of this YouTuber to collect the stolen Legos all of a sudden. Suddenly they're super all about stolen Legos. It's super serious. House raiding level serious when it's these guys. No, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit now. Okay. All right. When I watched the last couple videos, it seemed like it might actually just be chud, like, incompetent cops who just don't take this shit seriously. But they can't go from chud incompetent cops who don't take $200,000 in stolen Legos seriously to cops that are now raiding you over the stolen Legos that you reported. That were stolen from your party. Not you specifically, but the party you represent, right? So, Christ, yeah, this is probably corruption.
officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization.
But why, though? For a Lego retailer? Like, it's not even the Lego company. It's a company that retails, like used Legos, right? Like unopened boxes or open sets or whatever, complete sets and stuff. Like, it's not even the Lego company's store. It's like just a random retailer for Lego products.
To also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise. 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed and approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I will take the police officer's word on this, but...
Who approved the search warrant?
Possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise. 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin.
4th District Judge Roger Griffin approved the search warrant. I imagine this video is going to look into that guy, and if it doesn't, I recommend that this YouTuber does look into that guy and find out if he's like, I don't know, a Mormon pastor or something.
Reviewed and approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I will take the police officer's word on this, but something fishy is going on here, and everything can just be cleared up if you unredact the audio and let everyone see the truth. Also, after we got raided and the police officers found no Legos, all of this footage has been redacted too. And my guess is if the police unredact this footage, we will find out the answers once and for all. While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claimed it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
There's a kitty in the driveway.
Footage, you can clearly see I was not making any fast movements. However, the police department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm.
They're going to claim it's because he was reaching in his pocket to put his phone away. They're going to claim that him reaching in his pocket is why they did it. Guarantee it. I bet you $1 million. It's because he was reaching in his pocket to put his phone away.
Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
He was putting his phone in his fucking pocket, bro. He literally had his phone in his right hand and was putting it in his pocket. Okay, he was moving it to his left hand, kinda. Here's the clip.
While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claims it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
Up here in the second clip.
So
you can see he's got his phone in his right hand. Here's his phone,
clearly see
right
I
hand.
Was not making any fast movement.
And I think he goes to like put it in his pocket maybe. And like the most you could say is he goes to put his phone away. Or maybe switch hands. Like you can see he's like, okay, now he's grabbed. Yeah, okay.
However, the police...
He does end up switching it to the other hand before it gets pulled away. He saves his phone by putting it in his left hand. But yeah, it seems that I was right. Like literally the cop tried to use him like fumbling around with his phone as an excuse to armbar him. Not armbar him, but like put him in an arm lock.
Department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
The police department has made it clear I did not, in fact, make any quick movements like the police officer claims I did. So the police officer was lying, but not fully, because I did...
Like, literally all he did was, like, lower his phone, like, a little bit. Like, maybe even, like, just move it towards his pocket ever so slightly.
Tense my arm. However, he lunges at me extremely fast before he even touches me. So how could he even know that I was tensing my arm before he even grabs me? That doesn't
turn the video up just a bit, okay. Just a bit.
Make any sense? There's only one solution. This police officer has psychic powers, and he could tell that my arm was tensing up before grabbing me. However, this makes no sense, because if the police officer did truly have psychic powers, he would have known that we were not the thieves, Josh and Brandon were the thieves. So this can't be the case either. I'm trying to have an open mind with these different possibilities of what this could be, but literally the only outcome left is that this police officer injured me for no reason. However, the police have another response to this of why I must be lying.
In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Snyder's right arm during the arrest.
Yes, the stock footage I used to show what a dislocated shoulder is, an image that's clearly not mine because I didn't go to the hospital, I went to jail. So how could I have taken this picture?
Oh my god, they're responding to his YouTube video like, oh, they're doing like a bad response video. This is a police department making a bad response video to a YouTuber, and they completely fumbled it. They thought that the image he showed of what a stock image of a dislocated shoulder, which is just part of his editing style, that he showed what that looks like in an X-ray on his screen. or on the screen for people, they thought that that was his actual x-ray. Now, obviously, if you watch YouTubers, you know that if he had actually gotten an x-ray and that was his shoulder, he would have specified as such. Maybe that's something he should have done. But, like, I think most people who watch YouTube didn't interpret that as being his actual x-ray. Maybe I'm wrong.
But anyways, the stock image I used is of a left shoulder when my shoulder that got injured was my right shoulder. When I was editing this, I like to think highly of my audience that they would have known that this was a stock image and I wouldn't have to spoon feed every tiny detail to my audience. But now I realize that
I have the same thought process regularly. It's like, okay, how much do I trust most of my audience to get what I mean? Like, can I be a little, like, can I be controversial? Can I be vague with something? Or like how much can I trust people to get what I mean? It is very, very often a thought that goes through my head as a creator.
There's another portion of my audience called the American Fork Police Department that maybe I do have to spoon feed every single piece of information to. So I'm going to use this as constructive criticism, and
I just noticed the parody.
In every single episode going forward now that I know that the American Fork Police Department's watching, I will be forced to spoon feed every single detail. As a professional slackliner, dislocating my shoulder is almost a monthly thing for me.
Oh.
My arm is just on this bone.
Boon.
3 days before I got arrested, I had a
Oh, he was on Tosh.0. I forgot. I know this guy from the Slackline videos. He did the one over the Grand Canyon that was really fucking crazy, if I remember right.
really bad ski accident where I had a really bad dislocation of my shoulder, and any movement at all would have dislocated it. So I will say here, I don't think that the police officer was...
I would never slackline over any serious height, but my uncle set one up in his backyard when I lived with him, and I'm not gonna lie, I spent quite a bit of time on that slackline practicing balance, and I fell, and, like, I got my nuts a couple times. My nuts got fucked up pretty bad a couple times in that slack line, I won't lie. But eventually I got pretty good at, like, falling on my ass instead, and that's not much better. It's not much better. Like, you're really just, the best way you can fall on a slack line is on either side of it. Do not, you just fall off of the fucking slack line. Just fully. Don't try to stay on it. Don't try to cling on to it, alright? Your nuts will regret it.
Purposely trying to injure me. I think to a normal person this would have been fine, but for me in particular this was not good, but it was still unjustified, and the police officer was just making up an excuse, and now they're making up an excuse to defend it. Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, even after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign.
They stopped
and
that
failing to stop
sign. I saw it
at that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign. And now he's using that to say, this was a legal traffic stop. The police officers did.
That is their footage, by the way. That's his car.
We ran a stop sign.
That's them stopped. They're stopped. They're stopped. And they go. They weren't stopped for long, but I'm pretty sure that's completely legal. Also, that's sped up. That's sped up footage, too. That's the crazy part. That's how long they were stopped in sped up footage.
At that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign.
Okay, it's not sped up here.
And now he's using that to say, this was a legal traffic stop. The police officers did nothing wrong. At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed. However, to do that, we are first required to serve him court papers. So we did what the law told us to do. I got a process server, and we went to his house to do this the legal way. However, Josh did not want to do this the legal way, and instead called the police on us.
Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment. Multiple officers immediately responded to the area.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers. Josh's logic here is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me, then he can get away with his crimes because there'll be no one to sue him in court. However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal. And now he just admitted his plans to the police officers. The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court. But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Am I being arrested? You're under arrest right now. Really?
Something about this seems off, and all of the answers are in the body cam footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage. So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out why they arrested me and not the guy who threatened to murder me. However,
How the fuck are they allowed to redact the footage, by the way? That's insane. Like, the whole point of the body cam footage existing is so that you can't hide shit. Like, how is this any different from the cops just taping over it? Like, taping over the camera, like, with some electrical tape. Like, is that legal? Are they breaking the law just by doing that, or is the original unedited footage still available somewhere to be brought into court? Because you would hope it is, right?
American Fork Police does not want to unredact the footage right now, and now have made up a new excuse of why I was the one justified being arrested.
Officer Sumbot contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
The police department said the reason they arrested me and not Josh this day is because they called to confirm if this was...
Yeah, Josh is the owner. I believe Josh is the owner of Bricks and Minifigs, the location. He's not one of the CEOs of the company. He's not a corporate guy. He's the guy who owned the store and scammed and actually did the scamming. He's the one who agreed to the sale and then coordinated with corporate to withhold the payment, hold on to the Legos, and allow for corporate to come collect them.
A real court case, and they said it was real. However, the papers have already been served, and now I'm doing this solely to get YouTube content. And if that's true, I would like to see footage of it. They released all the raw footage, and that part doesn't seem to be in the raw footage.
It's already been to court, or are you allowed to tell me kind of where they're at with the case?
There is no hearing date set, and there hasn't been a hearing in the case yet. All I see is the claim that was filed. I don't see proof of service or anything. A hearing wouldn't be set until a response is filed by the defendant.
Okay, so the defendant needs to be served with papers before the case will, I guess, start?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your help. That's all for today. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, bye.
Right here, the police officer admits that it is March 10th.
On March 10th, 2026.
However, you can see here that Josh doesn't get served until 3 days later, March 13th. So how could Josh have already been served on March 10th if he didn't get served until March 13th? Unless Josh is a time traveler. There's only one way to clear this all up. American Fork Police Department, show me the time machine. So now, they say that I have done all the check marks which constitute stalking. Let's go through them.
The individual commits stalking if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual.
So yes, I did do an action that was targeted at a specific individual, but that's what's required by the court if I want to take someone to court. If someone steals your stuff and you go through the legal process to take them to court, there's...
Yeah, I mean, sending a process server after someone to... That's legal stalking. Like I don't know what... Like, stalking in a criminal sense is very much not supposed to apply to someone who's a process server. Like, yeah, you have to follow someone around and eventually confront them when you're a process server. That's your entire job.
It's not considered stalking. I have a right as an American to sue him.
Is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another.
The second check mark is that if a reasonable person would be scared. The police are claiming that since this action made Josh scared, this check mark is complete. However, they have completely forgotten about the term reasonable. As we can see, Josh is not a reasonable person. This is someone who multiple times has tried to silence someone by accusing them of being on heroin.
Here's the crazy thing. They told me that they took over that location because the owners were using the location to fund their heroin addiction.
What?
Yeah, and that's how they took it over, and saying they had...
Yeah, the Bricks and Minifigs business got cooed, basically. Like once the Lego... I think it was once the Legos were there, if I'm not mistaken, the store was, like, cooed. It was taken over. The original owner was kicked out, and it was the new owner, Josh, who decided to scam the original owner of the Legos, the old man who's sick.
Like a pigeon in there that was crapping all over the Legos, and it smelled bad.
Yeah, it's a local franchise location that got cooed by, like, Bricks and Minifigs corporate, I guess.
this stuff.
This is someone who threatened to murder me just for trying to serve him papers. This is not a reasonable person. It is not reasonable to threaten to murder someone just for serving papers. A reasonable person would accept the papers, so that second checkbox does not meet the requirements. I even tried explaining this to one of the police officers
kill the
early
process
What the law
server.
says
It's
is
not
if the
allowed.
average person would feel unsafe by our behaviors. So I think he's feeling unreasonably unsafe. A reasonable person would not feel unsafe in the situation. Well, I can say the same thing. I feel unsafe trying to conduct business with him, and he calls the police on me to hide. I feel unsafe because of that. Because we had a 3-hour search on our car. He said we had heroin in our car yesterday. We had a 3-hour search on our car. That makes me feel unsafe. I think that's reasonable for me to feel unsafe. It's not reasonable for him to feel unsafe.
So Josh is actually the one who said he was going to murder me if I take him to court. But now, I'm the one that's being looked into for threatening to murder Josh. How does this make any sense?
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threaten to murder the manager of the store.
Now, let's go to the heroin claim. We got pulled over by the police, and they claimed that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct a search of the person because they have substances in the vehicle.
Most of this footage is redacted, so again, there's a big mystery of what happened. Can we all come together and convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this so we can find out the truth? However, what the police is claiming now is that they did not get a call saying that we had heroin on us. Instead, they could just tell from the second we pulled over that our eyes were glossy.
Ah, yes. You see, the classic, listen, I'm an officer. I can just tell that you're under the influence of something, and that gives me probable cause to search your vehicle and you. And it's a classic right there. We all know that one.
During the interaction, Officer Fraughton indicated he
I don't know, your eyes are looking a little bit dilated. Oh, wait, let me see if I can do a just one. I don't know, Peter. Your eyes are looking a little dilated. I'm gonna have to search your car.
believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding
Why don't you step out of the vehicle, Peter? I can't do it.
possible impairment.
If we look back on the raw footage, this is what the police officer said his first interaction with us was like.
Good with these guys being able to drive?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anything clear as day with Tyler that I noticed.
What's the goal?
Right now? Yeah, I was gonna scare him a little bit and let him go. Is all I really was gonna do.
Do we have charges, or are we just tired of them being annoying?
It seems hard to take what the chief of police is saying seriously because so far almost everything he said is a lie. So the only way we can actually find out the truth is if we unredact everything. We already know the victim's name is Joshua Johnson. Why do we have to keep that protected? His name is already out there. None of these redactions are protecting anything except for the police. And now I want to acknowledge my friend Sheldon's arrest.
The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals, later identified as Sheldon Norcross. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data. According to Officer Richardson's reports, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized,
harassing him
Norcross
now.
immediately began manipulating the device.
The police officer claims that Sheldon was arrested because he opened his phone to start deleting evidence. However, we can clearly see in the footage, Sheldon's thumb is heading towards that lock button to lock his phone. His phone was open when he pulled it out, and the phone was transitioning from on to off, not from off to on. From this response, it almost seems like the police officers didn't even watch the video. So American Fork...
They wanted to grab his phone before it wasn't locked. Like they wanted to get it while it was unlocked, and they could go through it and not need him to give them access. Which, if they can just get into it, then I don't believe they need a warrant. They can just search it right then and there, and he can't take it from them. Otherwise, they're assaulting a police officer. So their goal was to grab it from his hands before he could shut the phone screen off. And because he succeeded in locking his phone before they could grab it from him, they punished him harshly.
Police department, if I'm your teacher, here's your homework. First off, learn the facts of what actually happened. Second off, stop lying about the facts. No one's believing it. The third thing is unredact the audio that makes the police look bad. Some of the best lawyers in the United States are reaching out to me right now, so eventually this is going to get released. Wouldn't you just like to get this over with sooner rather than dragging this out?
I'm glad to hear that.
The more we drag this out, the more content we get, so this only benefits me to drag this out. It doesn't benefit you. If you unredact the illegally redacted parts now, you'll win over audience support much faster. It's kind of funny because a lot of you guys probably think
they don't understand. The police department probably doesn't even understand that concept. They probably think this is super low stakes and are not taking it anywhere near seriously enough yet. They think this is like some like internet drama nonsense Lego scandal. They think it's super unserious. I don't think they realize that many of them might lose their jobs.
Make fun of this other cop by how he was talking.
Brother, you mind turning up the volume? Holy, it's actual ASMR. Wow.
Hey.
I cannot really hear him. Why is he whispering?
No, I'm actually just like
Radical.
super sick right now. I haven't been sleeping because I'm trying to get out part 3 as fast as I can. And that's caused me just to like stay up all night, every night, and not sleep. And now I'm sick and have no voice. But yeah, I guess it kind of, I don't know why that police officer was talking with such a low, quiet voice, but that's why I am, at least. I wasn't making fun of him. I literally am just genuinely sick. But if you want to see part 3, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/recklessben. Part 3 will be up there very soon. Part 2,
Damn, okay. So there's more to this. This story is going to continue. I'm really wondering how long this Lego scandal is going to be such a large attention-grabbing story where everyone's talking about it. I mean, I hope that everyone is invested. You know, this feels like definitely the kind of thing that everyone wants to see a happy ending come out of. You know, I feel like we need that right now. We need a big viral instance of justice that just everybody, no matter what your opinions are, you can agree on it being justice. An old dying man had his life savings in Legos stolen from him by a corporation, and they're being protected by seemingly corrupt police. Like, I think everybody can agree they want to see justice come out of this. That's pretty much it, though.